this assignment, this piece is so deep. Uh, the letter to someone that I miss, for I think we've been doing it for 5 semesters now, maybe a little bit longer, maybe a little bit shorter, but the students just love to get immersed in this kind of storytelling because it helps them to uh, internalize, number one, someone that they miss, and then it helps them to tell that particular story in video form. So I don't know if you know Harry Edwards, activist, San Jose, former San Jose student, very much involved in those protest years, and Bill Walsh, who used to be a football coach at San Jose State and then with the 49ers. Um, I think Bill Walsh went to San Jose State and got his master's, and then went on to become an NFL coach. He and Harry Edwards remained friends, and Harry Edwards uh, became a consultant for the 49ers, and they built this relationship. Bill Walsh died a few years ago, and so Dr. Edwards is uh, narrating this letter to someone that he misses. It's about 8 minutes long, but it's good.
Hello, old friend. I find myself once again scrambling through the corridors of my mind, searching for long ago conversations that we shared, for comments you might have made, for advice that you tendered over our 30 years of friendship. It is at these times my thoughts wander, where I can sense you following close behind, to places where we found ourselves deep in conversation so very often. I promised some time ago to never speak on your behalf, but these days an awful lot of people are asking me the same 3 questions. What would Bill Walsh think? What would he say? What would he do? They are referring to Colin Kaepernick, to the current wave of athlete protest in America, the fine line between politics and patriotism, and the role of professional athletes in these tumultuous times. What would Bill Walsh think? That one is easy. You would think of the past, how we sat at your desk discussing your reverence for Jesse Owens, who stood up to Hitler, your respect for Muhammad Ali, who refused to fight in Vietnam, and your passion for the civil rights movement, the impetus for our partnership. Me, former Black Panther Party member, brazenly militant Berkeley professor from East St. Louis, Illinois.
I think that the time has passed when those of us who have achieved some type of social standing, some type of educational standing in a racist society can sit back and figure they wouldn't dare do this to me. Roll 1.
You, from Northern California.
Got my mind on things going on downstairs. That's why I'm in trouble.
A lifelong coach who didn't get your shot until age 47 because many thought you were too intellectual to be an NFL coach. Quite a pair we made. You would think about our alma mater, San Jose State, where you wrote a master's thesis entitled Flank Formation Football, and where I organized the Olympic Project for Human Rights and the Black Power protest by our fellow alums, John Carlos and Tommy Smith, at the 1968 Olympic Games. Even though neither Carlos nor Smith ever played collegiate football, you alone among NFL coaches, then with the Cincinnati Bengals, stepped forward to offer them a tryout. What would you think of today's protesters? You would think it most important to simply listen and learn. What would Bill Walsh say? You would repeat now what you said over a lunch in 1983. We sat across from each other at the California Cafe near the Stanford campus. You said that both team and national success were founded first and foremost upon caring for others. And for that to happen, individuals must first feel cared for themselves. Next came a request to help you address the changing demographics in the 49ers locker room. Coaches had been working principally with white players for more than 50 years, but you foresaw the inevitable shift toward ever higher percentages of black players and recruited me as both locker room liaison and sounding board for dealing with the situation. Together, we started the league's first drug counseling programs, the first financial classes for players, and the first college degree completion program. All three were based on ideas that I originally proposed as Black Panther after-school programs in inner-city Oakland. As for Colin Kaepernick, I believe you would tell him this: if you remain true to yourself, your sport, and your cause, those truths alone command respect. Don't worry about that. Play ball and have fun. That's a big thing. I know it, man. Hey, if you're having fun, you start playing this game because it was fun. Have fun when you get to know, hey, guys, we're going to have fun out here. We can't predict the outcome, but we're going to have fun. Yeah. If you do that, you're going to be all right. You can be fine. Cool. Hey, brother, I love you. I love you so much. Hang love you too, brother. Yes. Yes. All right. And finally, what would Bill Walsh do? For the answer to that question, they need only look at what you did after retiring from the game. By then, locker rooms were overwhelmingly black, so you fought to do away with coaches' rooms that were overwhelmingly white. Thanks to the Bill Walsh Diversity Coaching Fellowship that we initiated, a path was blazed for over 60 current coaches in the NFL, including Mike Tomlin, Marvin Lewis, and Ron Rivera. When you were asked at the end of your life what you were proudest of, it wasn't the Super Bowls, the Hall of Fame players, or the West Coast offense. You were most proud of the concept that others find so hard to grasp: excellence and achievement, not despite our diversity, but precisely because of it. You shared that message with everyone you met before time, as it eventually does for us all, ran short. Approximately 3 years ago, Bill asked me to meet with him in his office at the 49ers. During the course of that brief meeting, almost out of nowhere, he said, "I want you to speak at my memorial service." I replied that I would commit something to paper for his review to make sure that I was headed in the right direction and covering what he would like to have said. He simply laughed and replied, "I don't need to see it. Surprise me." What would Bill Walsh think? What would he say? What would he do? Those are the wrong questions. Today, the questions that you would be asking are these: how can we all think more progressively and positively? What should we all say? What can we all do? So when the next person asks, I will simply say, Bill Walsh did his part. Have you? I will tell them of the last time we spoke, of your voice resting easy at the end of life's work. How you called not just me, but dozens of friends, just to say goodbye. And I'll tell them of my final words to you, the same words I leave you with today. Well done, my brother. I love you tremendously. Yours truly, Dr. Harry Edwards.
Okay. We get out of that. What did we learn from this piece? Come on, folks.
I learned a lot about Bill Walsh and Harry Edwards and basically what they did at San Jose State and exactly why they're so close and whatnot.
It became very, very
Yeah.
personal, right? And that's
Yeah.
what a letter to someone that I miss really should be.
Yeah.
You should delve into your young past, right? Most of y'all are still in your 20s. Sam, how old are you? Like 18 or something? You look very young, you know.
I thank you, but I'm actually 27. I'm going to be 28 this year, so I'm probably a little bit older than the majority of students in my classes.
No way. No way. What is so probing and so immersive? And the other two words that we're going to talk a lot about in this semester, engaging and compelling. Okay, because this piece does what? It does exactly what Ken Colbry said in that 1 minute and 46-second video that's posted. He said that in multimedia, everybody, multimedia, you must pull your viewer right into the piece in the first 10, 15 seconds, because in multimedia, if not, you would have lost your audience in multimedia. Multimedia, Eli, is viewed how? Multimedia is viewed on the laptop, the desktop, the phone, or the tablet. Right? You don't see multimedia on the big screen in the cinema houses, do you? You don't see multimedia on your 42-inch television screen. No, that's for a different kind of viewing, especially once you have gone to the cinema, right, and paid that $10, $15 for that ticket, that, $8 for that tub of popcorn and the blah, 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 this, that, and other, and you sit down, whether or not it's a great movie or an okay movie, because you spend all that money to go 9 times out of 10, right, Eli? You're going to sit in the movie house and watch it. So that afterwards, Sam, you could do what? You could go back and tell your friends, don't go see that movie. It was horrible. I sat through that thing and fell asleep, right? But in multimedia, something else. You got to grab your attention and you have to immerse that viewer into it with engaging and compelling content. The other piece of technique that the filmmakers, again, these are NFL filmmakers. These were, the best of the best of the best in terms of storytelling. They use something called the B-roll. Harry Edwards narrated this. We didn't see him sitting down talking into the camera or talking to a reporter or somebody else there, right? Like we would see with the 60-minute interview on Sunday night, right? Harry Edwards narrated this over what, Eli? Over footage, right? Footage that was always moving. Footage that was always what, fam? Always storytelling.
Yes.
Right? So when we get to our one topic three person uh assignment coming up in a few weeks, that B-roll that you will insert over that talking head is important. Okay? So the B-roll. Who just came on? Who just came on? Can you hear me? Who's this? I can't hear you.
Hello, my name is Keith Hogan. Sorry.
Okay, is this your first day?
My name is Keith, yes.
Keith. Okay, Keith. All right. Welcome. Anyway.
Good morning. Thank you.
Okay. So guys, pay attention to B-roll, and I will put on a link. I apologize to, is it Sam? Is that, what's your first name, ma'am?
Oh, it's Sam.
Sam.
Yeah.
I apologize for it. I apologize in advance for putting stuff up
Yeah,
there.
it's okay. Yeah, for some reason my dashboard, all of the courses are the exact same color, but for some reason on my phone they're different. So I was like getting kind of confused and overstimulated, I
That's okay.
guess.
No, we'll sort it out.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
All
It's
right.
all good.
So I will put a special B-roll link, okay, because B-roll is important. Because when we go back and we look at this piece, guys, and you should go back and look at it on your own. Keith, you should go back and look at this on your own. Keith, we can't see you. Keith, we can't see you. Yeah, keep your video on, okay? Yeah, okay. Go back and look at this Harry Edwards letter to Bill Walsh. There's only one time in this, correct me if I'm wrong, but there's only one time throughout this entire piece where we see Harry Edwards talking to the camera, and that's where. Can anybody remember? At the end, he says, "Well done, my friend. I love you very much." That's the only time I can remember, and I may be wrong, which takes me back to something else real quick. You all can always correct me. If I'm wrong about something, raise your hand, say, "Oh, Doc, cheers, you made a mistake." No problem. Okay. So everything else in there was narrated, but it pulled you in, it held your attention. You had conflict and resolution, right? Again, back to that tutorial. Oh man, I got so much going on in my mind. Back to the tutorial that I mentioned. I just had a brain freeze. Right here. Where is it? Back to the Ken Colbry. Watch it over again and over again and over again. The importance of pulling the viewer into your story, holding the attention through the narrative arc, the conflict, and the resolution. And it should be so compelling and engaging at the end that you will want to do what, Sam? You want to watch it again. Like Sam, like those Indiana Jones movies that you watch over and over and over and over again. Right? It's for a reason. The filmmakers do that on purpose, right? They end like that so that you will want to go back and watch it again. And that's the same thing that these NFL filmmakers did here. Okay? You know, so study this. Again, now yours, this is a trick. Your letter to someone that I miss is only supposed to be a couple of minutes. I think 2 minutes max. I can't remember. Where is it here? I don't want them long. Cluster assignment 2. Quickly, quickly, quickly. Cluster assignment 2. It didn't say how long here, but I'm sure it did on the course schedule. Only supposed to be a couple of minutes. So what do, Eli? You go back and you say, who do I miss? Is it a grandparent? Right? Is it a high school buddy? Right? Is it a teacher from high school? I'm going to try to put up one as an example of a former students, because the students just go crazy over this assignment. They just love it, you know, and especially the ones that they like are the ones where that grandmother or that grandfather, you know, in their advanced years, 80s, 90s, passes on, and you know they were raised in their presence. You know, the grandparent was very much a part of their upbringing, and they learned a lot from that grandparent. That they miss them, and they have a lot of those pictures. Where, Sam?
Usually on social media. Nowadays, I've got a few of my grandparents who have passed away on my wall personally.
See, you know, or your phone, right? They still have a lot of that stuff on the phone, and that's where you pull it from. That's where you pull a lot of your B-roll from. Some of them have video, right? You know, from events. What kind of events, Sam? Hint, hint. High school graduation, junior college graduation, where they got that AA degree, and so forth and so on, right? And so there's plenty of content out there to have. You got to sit down, you got to organize it. It's storytelling, you know. Dear grandma, I miss you so much. I remember blah blah blah, and you just take it on. Okay. You can use music. We saw with the Bill Walsh, Harry Edwards piece, right? The music was there. But what did we notice, fam, about the music? The music was low, right? It was instrumental, right, Sam? It wasn't spoken word music, right? It was low music, and that music, was it hip hop, rap, upbeat kind of? No, right? It was the appropriate music to help drive, to help steer your piece. So yes, you can use music. Because this is not going to be public, I suggest that you get something that is royalty free. Do not steal somebody's music. because you try to put it in on YouTube, they won't let you do it anyway. So I've had students who uh, they would know um, a local band or something, or they themselves were part-time musicians, and so they would just put some keyboard or they would put some other instrumental music there. So yes, you can use music. Okay, 2 minutes max. Okay, and that's due on the 16th. So again, guys, any questions on letter to someone that I miss? Again, I will try. I got to ask. I got to find a couple of students. I will. Don't hold me to it. I would try to put up an example or two of what the students in the past have done. Uh, but they've done a great job. Okay. Well, they did a great job. Okay. uh, any questions that come up during this assignment, reach out and ask me, and I'll get back to you pretty quick. Anybody have any issues with Adobe Premiere or iMovie? Uh, Pretty simple, pretty user friendly, especially at the level that we're using it, at that beginner level. The two tutorials that I posted, uh, uh, just in case anybody needs to go back and refresh, I put two examples up there, here, right here. Learn uh, Premiere in 20 minutes, iMovie in 11 minutes. Okay, it's right there, real simple. Again, we would normally take a class or two if we were meeting in person, so that I could come to your desk and work with you. We would go out and we would shoot a minute of whatever on your phone or whatever, and bring it back, and you upload it on the desktop in the classroom, and then we put it into Adobe Premiere, and we chop it up and we edit it, and we put some audio over it and some music up under it, and then we would export it to the desktop and so forth and so on. But we don't have that luxury. Okay. The other piece, make sure with your videos, all of your videos, that because this came up with a student from the section 82, uh, is that once you have taken it, once you have edited your video and you've exported it to your desktop, and then you uploaded it to your YouTube channel, again, it shouldn't take a long time. It should only take a couple of minutes, because it's only about a minute or less. Once you publish it uh, publicly, right? Not privately, publicly, you copy that link into Adobe Spark, and you should not have any problem, uh, Spark taking it and then playing it out. Okay. Always make sure, Sam, that whatever you put into Adobe Spark, pictures and or video, play it to yourself first before you send it to me. Okay, to make sure that I could open it. Because the worst thing that you want to do is send something to me thinking that it's done, and then I get it on my end through Gmail, and I send you back a note. Whoops, I can't open it. And then students are like panicking. Well, did you? Oh, I forgot to publish it public and blah blah blah. This, that, and the other.
Yeah,
Okay.
so you would like us to email it to you personally, or would we post it in like the replies and the announcements on Canvas?
At the end, thank you, Sam. At the end, you know, of the semester,
Uh,
where again we have all the content, you know, from the first assignment to your final project. At the end, you will email it to me.
Okay.
Okay. michael.cheers@sjsu.edu. Okay. Thank you, Sam. Okay. Anybody else? Pretty simple. Keith, you okay?
I'm okay. No further questions.
Okay, sir. Thank you. Okay. I saw this assignment. I saw this video on the weekend. And I just went crazy over it because it is so well done. Let's see, where is it? Sam, if you think that I send a lot, I get lost with all the stuff that I put up as well. But Henry Darby, is it compelling? Is it engaging? Does it have multiple layers? Which, for a second, let's go back to Bill Walsh and Harry Edwards. That story had layers. Okay, story layers help you do what, Sam? Story layers help you because any movie, take any movie, all movies have layers to them. There's not just one storyline. There's always something else going on in the movie, and then they wrap it up at the end. Okay, look at any episode of anything. Law and Order. Uh, um, oh gosh, Life Below Zero. I just like that particular series on National Geographic. I like it from the filmmaking point of view because and we'll get into it as we get into um, actually doing and assembling and shooting our videos. The importance, Sam, of three things: forest, trees, bark. I got you on that one, didn't I? Forest, trees, bark. Uh, your establishing shot or your wide angle shot, your medium shot, your close-up shot, your detail shot. Again, go back and look at Bill Walsh and Harry Edwards. That's all it was visually, was establishing shots, medium shots, close-up shots, detail shots, and one other thing that is a challenge for students, shot sequences and changing angles. Because we do not see everything, right, Sam? We don't see everything at eye level, right? Sometimes we got to get down and look up and show that perspective. And sometimes we got to get high and look down, right? We don't go through life looking at things at eye level. Okay. And so that's so with Life Below Zero, you know, and all these other shows, it's all about the story layers and about wrapping it up at the end, the conflict, the resolution, and the compelling ending. Does Henry Darby hold your attention? I think it does. Does it mirror the Colby paradigm? Again, watch it. You know, this is key for everybody. There's a Henry Darby in communities and neighborhoods all around San Jose and the Bay Area. This could possibly be an idea for your final project. So please study Henry Darby through the lens of the final project and the grading rubric that's already posted on Canvas. Here we go. Oops, what happened? Hold up.
Yeah, it says tap to unmute.
Right, but I want to
to
go.
7 a.m. But he has a day job too, a tough one at that.
Good morning. How you doing?
As beloved principal of North Charleston High School in North.
Yeah, I had trouble when I was watching it. It wouldn't go back for some reason.
Really?
Yeah, I don't. I thought maybe it was just me, but seeing you and it's not working for you, I don't know why it does that.
It wouldn't go back
Mm-mm.
to start.
Yeah.
Okay, well, we're 25 seconds in. Okay, y'all
Yeah.
ready? Here we go. Let me put it on the big screen. No, that's not the big screen. Doesn't go any bigger. Here we go.
North Charleston, South Carolina.
Well, then put your jacket on, please. Do not go in that building without your jacket on.
COVID-19 has really placed a damper on the personal relationship because at North Charleston High School, we do express the 3 R's.
B-roll.
Rigor, relevance, and relationship. Everybody knows that I'm a hugger. When I see my student, come here, boy. Come here, child. Come here, give me a bigger. Meet them at the door, off the buses.
B-roll.
Come here, give me a hug anyhow.
Show, don't
This is the type
tell.
of guy.
He's also the kind of guy who knocks on his students' doors after school and on weekends to check in. A student body who has 90% of their families living below the poverty line. The pandemic hitting his community especially hard.
I get a little emotional because when you've got children, you've heard sleeping under a bridge, or a former student and her child is sleeping in a car, or when you go to a parent house because there's problems and you knock on the door, there are no curtains and you see a mattress on the floor. And these people need, and I wasn't going to say no.
Notice how that music changed.
At my age, we don't ask for money. We just don't. You just go ahead and do what you need to do.
And Mr. Darby did. That night shift at Walmart, it's for them. Every paycheck, every dime, all of it goes to helping his students in need. He has done so quietly, not even telling his manager at Walmart about his day job.
Even before we knew, it was something special about him. I would be so happy to have Mr. Darby for as long as he will have us as a part of his family and beyond.
His endurance, almost superhuman, walking what must be miles through his high school hallways during the day and stocking what looks like miles of shelves at Walmart at night. It's shocking to everyone but his students because they know that's just the kind of man he is.
He's ready to help anybody.
He's impacting the community in a very special way.
He's there when you least expect it, but when you need him the most.
Mr. Darby's only request of his students, whom he calls his grandchildren, is to pay it forward.
It's quite simple, simplistic. Just learn to help others. That is one of the greatest things that we could do in terms of human beings.
Simple, yet powerful words from a man who knows that one person might not change the world, but they might change the world for one person, and that can make all the difference.
I am an optimist, but I'm also a determinist. I know that it's going to get better. I know that these times will not always be with us. I know that my students will not always be in poverty. I know that because that's what we are. America makes it better for everybody.
Amen. Amen to that. And I am so honored to be.
Okay, well, stop it there because, again, different kind of story, right? This is a broadcast story where the journalist was the narrator and helped drive the story along. But again, I think you would be hard pressed not to agree that this was a compelling and engaging story. I mean, come on, folks. Eli, how many of your former teachers or the principal at your high school would go? It's one thing to go the extra mile, but this man Come on, Sam. This man goes the extra mile and beyond. Can you imagine being a principal at a school all day, woe out, tired, but then go work the night shift at Walmart, and every dime of that paycheck goes to help his community, help his students? That's a compelling and engaging story. Okay. Um, it reminded me, um, maybe about 5 or 6 years ago, for this class, I would always come to work down the 280, and I would get off at 11th Street, down there by Lowell Elementary School. And I would see the crossing guard out there. And she was, and if you didn't get the light, you got to stop and wait, right? And then, until the kids pass and all that. And I just noticed this lady and in her communications with the students. I mean, it wasn't just, you all just come on and hurry up and get across the street before the light changes. She always has something to say. She knew them by name. I'm just picking this up, observing and listening. And so I came to class and I told a couple of my students, y'all want to do a good midterm project. You can work in teams of back then up to 4. There's this lady, I don't know her name, I never talked to her or anything, but you can do that. And my thing was, everybody, if she was out there in the morning, right, Eli, 9 times out of 10, does not rocket science, she would be the crossing guard in the afternoon, helping the students go home. So I said, check it out, and my students did, and they produced a wonderful story on this lady. She was a grandmother. Her kids did not go to that school, but it was that nurturing piece about being a grandmother that was so compelling. And her thing was to the kids, her encouragement to the children every day, going to school and going home, was going to school. Did you do your homework? Going back in the evening, make sure you do your homework. Okay. And then she would always end it by pointing towards San Jose State, which was about 3 blocks up the street, because one day you want to be able to get into that college up the street. And that was her thing. And the students not only got the film footage of her out in, doing that, but a layer tour got her at home, with her husband. She, it was, the job didn't pay much, but it helped supplement her little income, her little retirement income. The story had layers to it, and it turned into a really nice story. But again, how did that story happen, guys? It happened because I was out observing, which is what I'm going to leave you with. Okay. You have to, how do I put it? You have to observe your surroundings. I'm always out, wherever I am, observing human traffic, wherever I am, in a store, at a stoplight, out taking a walk, whatever. That's how you get your great stories. Being observant, number one, and number two, not being anxious or afraid of going up and talking to people. Okay, that's how you get these good stories. And that's what I did. I always tell my students that I can walk 5 minutes or 5 blocks from San Jose State in any direction, and I could come back with 5 stories. because it's that much material out there, from people that I don't even know, but I just see things. And so as we get into our midterm, which is the letter to my younger self, as we get into our final project, which is a multimedia project of your own, okay, get out now. Start developing something that is of interest to you for your final project. Find that shopkeeper or storekeeper or mailman or uh, bus driver or whomever. There's got to be somebody in your neighborhood who goes around and helps people. He or she will uh, buy the groceries and deliver them to the neighbors because they can't get out because of COVID. There's all kinds of stories right out there. It's 11:45. Gotta go. Any questions, just email me. I am available to help you. Again, my office hours are open. There's no such thing as, he's only available, before or after class. Anytime you need something, let me know. I'll see you back here on Thursday, 10:30 with your first assignment, The Hill We Climb. Okay, be ready again to go to your screen share and show it, and we'll get through it real quick. Fam, you good down there?
Yes, sir.
Yep.
Okay, everybody good? Thank you very much, Sam, Eli, everybody, Keith. Appreciate it. See you all on Thursday.
All right. Thank you. Bye.
Bye-bye.